Hello, welcome, Cavature. So, for whatever reason in the last couple months, a lot of prominent JP YouTubers of Monster Strike have put together lists of their top 10 monsters. So I thought I would take all of those lists and mash them together, and then make a top 10 Hatcher Monsters JP Players version list. And yeah, I'll put the links to their channels in the notes so you can have a look at those. And yeah, I tried to think about how to, order them. But yeah, basically characters that got like a top 3 pick, they're higher in this list. So yeah, let's have a look at what they picked. Number 10 is ALEXANDRITE Evolution. And yeah, people were very surprised at this character when she was announced. Very high attack, but with a gauge on top of that, so that's crazy. Very high speed, but she has dash on top of that, which is crazy. She has a critical luck skill, which is really good for a pierce character with high speed, but she's also got the high attack, so that's pretty crazy. She also has null wind, which may or may not come in handy sooner or later, and then the strike shot reducer. And then the strike shot is super strong. It's the one where she increases the weakness of a boss's weak point. But she also gets a crazy multiplier to her speed and attack as well. So that's really awesome. And then finally she has a lock-on trident laser, which is pretty strong. It's at full power, the 12,000, and then you get the 3 lasers. And if you're close to a boss, then you can get all 3 lasers in there. So she's very strong. And yeah, only the single null ability, but I've been using her a lot in normal quests, and then also to make the max luck of Cocoa, and in Brutus, of course. So yeah, she's pretty great. Number 10, ALEXANDRITE Evolution. Okay, number 9, also red, and that is NONNO, Transcendent. And yeah, she's got also pretty decent stats overall. She's a blast type, just like her Ascension version, I think it is. And she's got the Minesweeper EL, and then the Null Wind. We saw this come in very handy in Marishiten Kai. But even before that, for a very long time, she was just super strong. Just basically for her bump combo. It's the Twin Vertical Laser EL, and that's 34,000 each laser. And then it is possible to get both lasers into one target, so that's big damage. And then people will take her to quests, regardless of gimmick, and they'll use a bunch of her and just, hit all the lasers and then, clear the stage. Very strong. And then the strike shot is very good. It is a speed and power up, and then the first time she hits an enemy, she'll create a warp there and then return to that warp after she moves. What's crazy about this strike shot is that the second tier, her speed goes way up, so that can be lots of hits, lots of damage. She's dropped a little bit because there are other characters with Minesweeper which are even stronger, but still one of the top 10. And that is number 9, NONNO, Transcendent. Okay, number 8, also red, and that is Beethoven, Transcendent. And this guy's on here basically for his strike shot. He's got the Grand Command strike shot. And yeah, that's super useful, maybe the best strike shot in the game. You can get all your guys moving. So that's good damage on the boss, or clearing a field, grabbing hearts, improving your positioning, all kinds of stuff. So really good. He only has the null gravity barrier and the null block, but it turns out that that's a really good double null ability. You can use him in a Tsukuyomi 0, of course. But like Izanami Kai, which was kind of out of nowhere since they're the same element, yeah, just a ton of places. He's really good. And then bump combo is pretty good too. I think he was the first one to get it. It's that spread bomb attack. And the closer he is to a boss or enemy, the more bombs you will get in there and the more damage you will do. And yeah, that bump combo is so good that it's worth giving him a sidekick Abelberry. So, yep, that is Beethoven, number 8. Okay, number 7 is Wood. And that is Takasugi. And this guy's pretty crazy. He's a Pierce with a double null ability, null gravity barrier, null warp, super versatile. Very high speed, almost 500. And then kind of the main reason that he is on this list is because of his bump combo. He's the only second character to have this bump combo, the Ricochet. And that sends out a bullet, and that hits all enemies on screen, just without exception. And then if you have a situation like with a chain lightning, if you have like a drone or a shield on top of a boss's weak point, that Ricochet will go into the boss's weak point and do the triple damage there. So I always use this guy, for example, in the water time trial. It makes it go real quick. But also like a Key or like Tiger, you can use him in there and then get those clears very quickly. But yeah, that double null ability. I also use this guy in Kanan. You could use him in Kushinada, Izanami even. Yeah, really, really good. And I've heard rumors that the designers within X-Flag, after the fact, they're like, whoops, I think we made Takasugi too strong. But yeah, here he is. He's awesome. That is number 7, Takasugi Evolution. Okay, next up is Light. And it's a collaboration character, so unfortunately you can't get him anymore. But this is Gon Ascendant. And then, yeah, very high attack, very high speed. He's got the counter killer, and that is passive in him. So it's easy to see like who has the target on them, to see who he has the Slayer for. And that also go into his bump combo. He has low HP, but he has the full resistance. That's 25% less damage from all elements. And then the null damage wall. And yeah, his bump combo, it is the 3-shot on everybody. And if you have like Gon in a corner and then the boss is here, and you have a bunch of enemies around here, all of the shots will go into the boss because they don't pierce. They just hit the first target. So that can be good concentrated damage. And then he's got the Kidan, the fireball, I guess, just that one big single shot. And that's also pretty strong, even as a sub-bump combo. And the counter Slayer will improve the damage of all of those, so that's really good. And then his strike shot is insane. You can hit anybody on the screen, and it will do millions of damage to everybody on screen, just everybody. So yeah, really easy to use. You don't have to aim it. Doesn't really matter if you hit the weak point or not, I think. But it's great at clearing a field, and then also doing good damage on the boss. So yeah, that is Gon, number 6. Okay, number 5 is Pandora Ascension. And yeah, for being over a year old, she's got really good staying power. She's on here basically for her bump combo. It's the double follow-up piercer. And then she has a blast type, so that's lots of damage there. But yeah, an entire playstyle is based just around her. So get like a Max Luck or your other monsters pierce with high speed, and then whatever null gimmicks you need, and just drag that follow-up piercer all over, and then that will be great damage, especially on bosses. And then her strike shot, she also has it's like a Grand Command strike shot plus a Hakua strike shot. So pretty good. You have a very good chance of hitting all of your teammates and getting them moving. And yeah, it can be good damage on the boss, good damage on all of the characters around the screen. And then she also has Null Wind, which may be the gimmick of this year. We're already in March and we haven't really seen it take off, but we'll see, we'll see. So yeah, that is number 5, Pandora Ascension. Number 4 is TANPOPO Transcendent. And yeah, very high stats overall. She's got the triple null ability, null gravity barrier, null wind, and then flight on the gauge. And then the Demon Slayer M, so lots of good stuff there. The only thing about her is that you can't miss her gauge, or else you're going to hit the mines, and then, take that damage, so be careful about that. She's got a pretty decent strike bump combo. It fills the screen with little shots, and then the damage is pretty good. And then the strike shot is kind of the main reason to use her. And you can skip gauges with this strike shot. You set the bomb where you first hit, and then based on the number of hits that you get, it'll do more damage. This does more damage in weak points, and yeah, it does require some team building to get the best use out of her. You want to use another character with a blast bomb combo, and then maybe more characters with high hit bump combos. So a number of Tanpopos on the same team really works well together. And yeah, skip engages, she's really good for that. So Tanpopo Transcendent, number 4. Okay, number 3 is Mozart Transcendent. And yeah, she kind of also broke the game herself. She's got many homing shots. And so she's really good for easy quests, and then she's really good as a team full of her, because, you know, homing, when you stack them all up, are really good. But that's it, basically. Just the best homing character in the game. Maybe the best bump combo character in the game. Wish I had her. So that's number 3, Mozart. Number 2 is Nobunaga Transcendent. And then she's good just all around. HP and speed are a little low, but attack's very high. She also has a gauge. She also has counter slayer, so really good direct attack damage. She has really good bump combo damage. She's got the super slice and dice and the super dimensional blades. So near and far she can do good bump combo damage, and then if she's getting those hits into a boss's weak point, then that's almost the entire gauge right there. Really strong. And then the strike shot, this is a command strike shot, but I think it has a higher multiplier than any other command strike shot in the game. So a lot of people say that this strike shot is even stronger than Pandora's. So really good. So yeah, 3 ways she's a very good source of damage. Direct attacks, strike shot, and bump combo. She's top class in all 3. So she's pretty crazy. Yeah, she really outshines Lucifer Ascension, so yeah. Oh well, sorry for Lucifer. Alrighty, so that was number 2, Nobunaga. And then number 1 is Mana Evolution. She just came out this New Year's, and yeah, everybody loves her, everybody wants her. She again has only just the Minesweeper, and so because of her, people like Mozart and then NONNO, you know, their ranking has lowered. But anyway, she's super duper good. She's got the new Involute Sphere, which goes through everything. You know, it's not hampered by laser barriers or homing absorbers. And then it, you know, hits near and far. If there's a boss, there's a chance you might hit the boss twice with this, which is really strong. And then it's good for taking down little guys as well. There are some bump combos that are not good for that, but this one certainly is. And it has a really good chance of hitting everybody on the screen. It's more likely that you're going to hit everybody than not. So yeah, pretty good filling the screen capability. The strike shot is one thing that I would say is her weak point. It's a grand command strike shot where everybody changes their sling style. But I feel like the multiplier is not that high, so don't expect too much damage from it. And then finally, she's got the barrier. That protects the first 10,000 damage to her every stage, and also blocks things like attack down, power down, poison, stun, whatever. And then just as far as the look, the barrier on her looks really good. So she has kind of like an overall like kind of pink look to her. So yeah, looks wise too. She's also top class. So yeah, Mana Evolution number 1. And that is me, you know, taking all of these lists and mashing them together. And then just to summarize who I chose to put the list together. Let's see, there was Keidora. He recently won the Grand Prix, that competitive Monster Strike tournament. And then also Shido and Naopiro. They're kind of the main Game With duo. And then there's kind of a newer duo from Game With, Yosuke and Kurosuke. And then finally, Pen, who is part of M4. So yeah, again, I will put those channels in the notes, so you can have a look at those. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.